Welcome to Heartline Stories. Today's story follows a successful billionaire CEO who is stopped by a young boy in a most unexpected way. The boy says, "I saw your picture under my mom's pillow." Shocked and confused, the CEO is about to learn that his past is about to catch up with him. Who is this child and what does he mean to the billionaire? Stay tuned to find out how one simple moment can change everything. Let us know where you're watching from, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It was a cold morning in New York City when Alex Harper, a successful billionaire CEO, stepped out of his sleek black car and into the busy streets. He had just wrapped up an important meeting at his headquarters and was heading to his next appointment. As Alex walked towards the entrance of the coffee shop, he noticed a young boy, no older than 8 or 9, standing alone near the door. The boy looked up at him with wide eyes, and Alex thought nothing of it at first. He was used to people recognizing him. After all, Alex was a well-known businessman, always in the news and at high-profile events. But then, the boy did something strange. "Excuse me, sir," the boy said, his voice soft and a little nervous. "Are you Alex Harper?" Alex stopped in his tracks, surprised that a child would recognize him. He smiled down at the boy. "Yes, I am. How do you know me?" The boy hesitated for a moment before speaking again. "I saw your picture under my mom's pillow." Alex's smile faltered. "What? What do you mean?" The boy looked up at him seriously. "My mom has your picture in her room, under her pillow. She talks about you sometimes." Alex's heart skipped a beat. He had no idea what the boy was talking about, but something about it felt familiar. Was it possible that this boy knew something about him? Something that he didn't know about himself? Curious, Alex bent down to the boy's level. "What's your name, son?" "Liam," the boy replied, his small face lighting up a little. "My mom says you're a big deal. She calls you Mr. Harper, but she never told me why you're in her picture." Alex was now even more confused. He had never heard of this woman, and he certainly hadn't known about a picture being kept under her pillow. It felt like something strange was happening. "Liam, where is your mom?" Alex asked, his voice a little shaky with curiosity. Liam pointed across the street toward a small, cozy apartment building. "She's in there. I think she's making dinner for us." Alex felt a mix of emotions: surprise, curiosity, and a hint of unease. "What's your mom's name?" "Her name's Sarah," Liam answered quickly. "She talks about you all the time, but she's never met you." Alex's mind raced. He couldn't recall any woman named Sarah in his past. He had lived a busy life, always focused on work. But this felt different. The picture under the pillow, the boy mentioning his name. It was all so strange. "Why don't I walk you home, Liam?" Alex said after a brief pause. "Maybe your mom can explain more to me." Liam's face lit up. "Okay, but I'm not supposed to talk to strangers." Alex chuckled softly. "I'm not a stranger. I'm Alex Harper, and I think your mom knows me better than I realize." As they walked toward the apartment building, Alex's mind raced with thoughts. Who was Sarah? How did she know him? And why did she have his picture hidden away? As Alex and Liam reached the building, the young boy led the way up the stairs. Alex couldn't help but feel a strange sense of urgency building inside him. He had dealt with many mysteries and surprises in his life, but this one felt different. It was personal in a way that made him uneasy. Liam knocked on the door of the small apartment, and after a moment, a woman's voice called from inside. "Coming." The door creaked open, and standing there was a woman in her early 30s, wearing a faded apron and looking a little tired. Her brown hair was pulled back in a messy bun, and she gave Alex a soft, hesitant smile. "Hi, I'm Sarah," she said, her voice warm but cautious. "Is something wrong?" Alex took a deep breath. "Hi, Sarah. I'm Alex Harper. Liam just told me that you have a picture of me." Sarah's eyes widened for a brief second before she quickly masked her surprise. "Oh, yes, I do." She stepped aside to let them in. "Please, come in. It's not what you think." The apartment was small but cozy. The smell of dinner filled the air. Alex hesitated for a moment, trying to figure out what was happening, but then he stepped inside. Sarah gestured to the kitchen. "I'll get dinner started. Liam, you should go wash up." As Liam ran off, Sarah turned back to Alex. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. It's just that, well, it's complicated. Alex raised an eyebrow. Complicated? What do you mean? Sarah hesitated. She motioned for Alex to sit at the small dining table. I know this might sound strange, but I've been following your career for years. When my son was born, I kept a picture of you on my phone. I don't know why, really. Something about your story. It just stuck with me. Alex leaned forward. But why would you keep a picture under your pillow? Sarah looked down, clearly uncomfortable. It wasn't just a picture. It was a letter, too. A letter I never sent. It was from a long time ago. From when I was, well, from when I was younger. I thought you'd never remember me. But now seeing you here, I realize I may have been wrong. Alex's mind was racing. He had no idea what she was talking about. A letter? A letter from a time he didn't remember. Sarah, I'm not sure I understand, Alex said, trying to stay calm. I don't know you, and I don't remember sending any letters. Sarah took a deep breath, then slowly walked to a small drawer in the kitchen. She opened it, pulled out a yellowed envelope, and handed it to him. This is the letter I was talking about, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex looked at the envelope. His name was written on the front, but it didn't look like his handwriting. He slowly opened it, trying to make sense of what was happening. Inside was a letter, written in neat script, but the words felt strangely familiar. I never thought I'd see you again, but I couldn't forget you. I hope one day you'll remember me and understand why I left. Alex's heart skipped a beat. He recognized those words. They were from a long time ago, from a time in his life he had pushed away, buried deep in his past. He looked up at Sarah, his voice shaking. This letter, it's from me. Alex's heart raced as he stared at the letter in his hands. The handwriting was unmistakable. It was his, from years ago, but he couldn't remember ever writing such a letter. He looked up at Sarah, his mind swirling with questions. How do you have this? He asked, his voice shaking slightly. I don't remember writing this. I don't even remember meeting you. Sarah's eyes softened. I didn't expect you to. It's been a long time, and a lot has happened since then. But the letter, I found it after you left. I kept it because I wanted you to know that I didn't want to go. I had to, though. Alex sat down at the kitchen table, still holding the letter. His mind was racing. He thought back to his past, to the years he had spent building his empire, focusing on work and business. He had pushed many memories aside, not realizing how much of his past was waiting to resurface. I don't understand, Alex murmured. What do you mean by after I left? I don't remember being with you. I've never… You have, Sarah interrupted gently. You were young, just starting out. We met by chance. I wasn't looking for anything, but you were kind. And then, one day you disappeared. Alex felt a knot form in his stomach. His mind raced, but it was as if a fog was clouding his memories. He tried to recall his past relationships, his early years, but nothing seemed to match the picture Sarah was painting. Look, Sarah said, her voice trembling, I know this is a lot to take in, but Liam, he's your son, Alex. The words hit him like a ton of bricks. What? No, that's not possible. His voice was almost a whisper as disbelief washed over him. Liam, my son. Sarah nodded, her expression full of sadness. Yes, he is. I didn't want to keep this from you, but I also didn't want to pressure you. I knew you had moved on with your life, but Liam, he's been asking about you for years. I've tried to protect him from the truth, but now that you're here, he deserves to know. Alex's mind was spinning. A son? How could this be true? He hadn't even known Sarah, let alone have a child with her. Yet here she was, explaining a past he had no recollection of. Liam came running into the room, his small face lighting up as he saw Alex still sitting at the table. Mom, what's happening? He asked, looking up at Alex with wide eyes. Sarah smiled softly at her son, then looked back at Alex. Liam, this is your father. Alex stood up slowly, feeling a wave of dizziness wash over him. I don't know what to say. Liam looked up at him with curiosity and hope in his eyes. Are you really my dad? Alex swallowed hard, trying to process everything that had just happened. This boy, this little boy who had stopped him on the street, was his son. The thought felt surreal. "I guess I am," Alex said softly, his voice full of emotion he couldn't quite explain. Liam smiled, running up to Alex and hugging his legs tightly. "I've always wanted to meet you." Alex bent down, his heart swelling with a mix of confusion, guilt, and awe. He couldn't believe this was happening. The boy he had never known existed was here in front of him, and the woman who held the key to a past he couldn't remember was standing just feet away. "I don't know how all this happened," Alex said, his voice thick with emotion, "but I promise I'll do my best to make up for the time I lost." As Alex stood there holding Liam, something clicked inside him. His life had always been about numbers, deadlines, and business deals, but standing here now, with this child in his arms, he realized how much he had missed. He had built an empire, but he'd never built a family. Sarah watched him, her eyes filled with cautious hope. "It's not going to be easy," she said quietly, "but Liam deserves to know you, and you deserve to know him too." Alex nodded, his heart heavy but full of determination. "I know I've made mistakes, but I'm here now, and I'll make it right. I'll be here for him, for both of you." Liam looked up at him, his eyes full of trust. "Does this mean you'll come home with us?" Alex smiled, his heart swelling. "Yes, Liam, I'm coming home. I'm not going anywhere." For the first time in years, Alex felt like he was truly where he was meant to be. He hadn't known it before, but this was the family he had been missing, the family he had been searching for without realizing it. As he looked at Sarah and Liam, Alex knew that his life would never be the same. It wouldn't be easy, but it would be worth it. Together, they would figure it all out. And this time, Alex wasn't going to let go. Thank you for joining us on this Heartline story. Sometimes fate has its own way of surprising us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.